You're probably wondering why I'm wearing a hat. Hi everybody, I'm Russ Cade. That went well. At least I got 5 seconds into the show before the consumptive cough started. I tell you what, you don't want COVID. And speaking of things that you don't want, this is something that you do want. You know him. You love him. He is, of course, Neil Long.
And the fourth emergency service, it would seem today, Russ.
You are all of those things. You are
welcome to Men's Radio. Good afternoon, and I'm back in the conservatory today. Rather than did I mention that on Monday I was in a roof garden in a hotel in Soho at a film
No, you
premiere?
never mentioned that at all.
Did I mention that at all?
No, not at all. Nor did you mention the fact that you were with a mysterious and very attractive woman.
Her name is Samantha Crilly, and she was the star of the film, and it's all about her mental health struggles done in a fun, comedic, satirical, and probably cathartic,
definitely
cathartic way. I'd love to get her on the show because her and her mum, the whole family, it's an amazing backstory.
Get her on the show.
I will.
Robert Van Buren. He's one of my best friends, Neil. Have you ever met him?
I've met RVB several times. He's been around my house.
Just a joke. I've never met him in my life. It was just me being stupid. Let's go up to Fife in Scotland, where Sue Sleet. Hello, everybody. Happy Humpday. Sue, you little devil. Good afternoon to you both, says Facebook user, which means they're watching us on the espresso bar, which you can do. And where's this from, Neil? Your starter for Tendo confirming. Elizabeth Green. I must take your first answer.
New York.
I'm afraid you're out of time. Yes, New York City, Manhattan, Elizabeth Green, good morning. And Robert Van Buren, he's threatening me. We have to meet up one day. Do I owe him money? It's neither here. It's neither here.
He's not a very threatening dude. He's a pretty chilled out dude.
Is he? I find everybody threatening. Anyway, as you've probably gathered, I am absolutely no better whatsoever. Oh, man. It's
so random, isn't it? Because it affects everyone so differently.
Doing my head in, Neil.
Yeah, honestly, for me, when I had it, it was nothing. It was absolutely nothing.
Oh, man, I wish this was nothing. I just want it to go away. I've had to cancel so much stuff because I can't go anywhere. And Leslie Ian Jones, talking of threatening. Hi, Russ. Yeah. Should we bring on a first guest?
I would love to have our first guest on.
Oh, maybe our only guest, actually, today. I do apologize, everybody. I am nowhere near up to full speed. You're just going to have to bear with me. There's nothing more I can do.
I might be able to get Sam if you have time for another guest. I can do a cheeky tag.
I think we probably, I think we probably do. Let me bring on. Oh, hang on. No, got to do this first. From New York. Live from New York, it's the Asa Don Brown Show with Asa's special guests.
Who sent me a very lovely email the other day, and I'm really glad to connect with you, Asa Don Brown. I think we've got a lot to learn from each other.
You think? You're not going to start wandering around the freaking Stetson. You look ridiculous in New Malden.
No.
I mean, they'll go, he's an interesting guy, is Asa. And David Wimble, who is the grand fromage of Deluxe Radio, where we are streamed. How are you feeling, old bean? I think you can tell how I'm feeling. I'm clinging onto I'm literally holding onto the wall here. Back from Turkey, no teeth other than the false variety until I get new implants in 3. Oh my God. He went there to get his teeth fixed. And hello to you, Sen. Hope you're feeling better. No, actually feeling slightly worse today. If that was and get better, need you at my premiere. I wouldn't count on it, Elizabeth, at this rate. Right, let's bring on our guest.
Hello.
Hi, can you hear me all right?
We can hear
Brooke,
you.
welcome to the show.
We can hear you loud and clear. Where are you, Brooke? That's an interesting background.
I know, yeah, terrible. I'm at work.
You're at work?
I work at nursery school, and this is like the backstage bit that no one sees.
What you work where? Sorry, the drop. Where did you work?
I work at a nursery school for 2 to 4 year olds.
Do you actually?
Wow.
Are
Are we going to have one of those epically funny viral video children moments that we can put on YouTube?
Yeah, that's what we want.
Definitely not. No,
We want some little kid coming in and going, and
I
then
don't think that was our reflection.
saying something absolutely inappropriate. Brooke, welcome to Men's Radio. Tell us all about.
Welcome, Brooke.
Neil, help. Tell us about yourself.
Welcome, Brooke. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. I have to be kind of Russ's fourth emergency service this morning because it's the COVID can literally grab him at any moment. So
I'll just steal the show.
Let's hear all about you because you are a wonderful singer, and I've looked up some of your pictures and I'm looking. Goodness me, this woman looks amazing, and here you are sitting in front of me. So tell us about your music. When did it all start for you? And tell us more.
So I've been writing music and playing it live for years and years. And I've got a band and we gig loads and I've been releasing music and I've got a song coming out on Friday.
Yep. Now you know that we're not a music station, and I get inundated from PR companies saying we've got this one and and I go, not interested. We don't play music. You've got another million music stations to go to. We do mental health and well-being. So explain how I've shoehorned you into a radio station which is about mental health and well-being.
So I wrote this song when we first opened up, I guess, since COVID. I wrote the song with my friend Kath Haling, and it's generally about mental health. And I had it in mind that I wanted to release it for Mental Health Week, and then obviously it's this week, and then I suddenly was like, I need to release this song, and it's about just how we've all got our own issues and struggles. Everybody does, and we all need to be there for each other, especially since COVID. A lot of people. I mean, everyone said that it brought you closer to your friends and family, but at the same time, a lot of people were forgotten about. And people have more time to feel even worse and worse, and a lot of people really have struggled from it, and it's just how we all need to be there for each other and help each other.
I could not agree more. It was a weird time for me because I was going through a load of different stuff there. So while I completely agree with you, it wasn't COVID so much that was doing it for me. COVID was kind of in second place, if that makes sense. But having mental health affected is having mental health affected. The cause doesn't matter so much.
Say that again. That was catchy. Say it again.
What did I say?
I don't know. What did you just say?
I'm in flow. I don't remember a word I say.
I said you said having perfected.
I was going through very much like you say, some difficult times a couple of years ago when it went into lockdown, and COVID didn't make it any better, but it wasn't the thing that was bugging me the most, if that makes sense. But it doesn't. But mental difficulty is mental difficulty, no matter the cause. That's what I'm saying. But what you're saying about connecting with each other and being there for each other, that really has become so important to me. It's always been important, but super important. So I've learned quite a lot about receiving help, offering help, I suppose, over the last 2 years, and talking freely and openly about mental health, which I'm a huge advocate for mental health, and I really think it matters. Do you write about a lot of your music about mental health and well-being, or just this song in particular?
No, I do generally, and my songs are about feelings. Generally, every song.
All the best ones are.
So was Morris Albert.
But I just think generally, recently, a lot of people, obviously everyone had their own ideas about COVID, and the fact that you someone that you didn't know, you wouldn't want to go near, or you would want to distance yourself from people. If someone would ask for change, you might not want to give it to them because you wouldn't want to touch their hand, and that in itself is just not being there for someone, and I just think it created more judgment. And even on the train, you'd be like this to someone next to you, or I don't know. It's just
that's how I got this on the damn train.
Like a smile to someone opposite you is going to make their day.
Right. It was all based on fear, wasn't it? Because I remember.
With respect, guys, this is all lovely and hippy dippy stuff. It was based on the fact that nobody wanted to feel like this. So I managed to avoid this sodding thing for 2+
Well done.
years because I was really, really careful. I have been so careful, right?
I agree, and I think it brought out, Brooke, in many ways. It really kind of contrasted humanity. It brought the best of people out, where people stepped up and did wonderful things, and it also brought the worst of people out. Dare I mention toilet rolls and pasta?
Thank you for getting the
start.
gag pulled, by the way. Thank you.
And I remember being outside Waitrose doing some shopping for someone in the lockdown, and this guy just literally stepped away from this girl. He went 2 meters, and he really had a go.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
I thought, there's no need to have a go at her. Just step away.
But
Neil,
people were being dicks. People were being absolute freaking dicks during this time. It wasn't an option. It wasn't an option. They were being selfish, and they were being stupid, and they were being ignorant. And I don't blame somebody saying step away, step away. I really don't. I don't object to that. This was unparalleled. This was unparalleled. And we were doing our best, and there were so many people who were just stupid and selfish.
Well, generally with mental health, I think we all question ourselves on what we're doing and if we've done enough. A lot of people lost their jobs, and I just think I've lost my train of thought, but I mean, just the fact that, as a musician, I'm always wanting to write songs, and I really care what people think of me at the end of the day. And I can't control what people think of me, and I know a lot of people are gonna hate my music or love it, hopefully.
Don't worry about that. You do it for yourself. Don't ever worry about that.
It's easier said than done, isn't it? Doing something for yourself.
Much easier said than done.
It is, but if you're Brooke, if you're a true artist, right? If you're an artist, then you have a vision, and that vision, you stay focused on that vision. That is your goal. That is who you are. And that is what defines you as an artist. So when I say when you do it for yourself, that is what a true artist does.
And when you're in your zone, you'll be at your best, and then the people that love you will love you, and the people that don't will fall away, and that's the best, because then you'll attract your tribe, your following, and they're the ones you want.
It's true, yeah.
But Brooke, it's about, forgive me for saying this, because you're about 12 and I'm about 200, but it's about authenticity. It's about authenticity. All true artists, when you look at them, what they're doing, it's about the authenticity of their work that shines through.
It is, but all artists and all teachers and all plumbers, radio broadcasters will have their own demons or things that just make them feel a bit insecure, maybe.
The irony of what I've found is that the people that did the most think they needed to do more, and the people that did the least felt so the pasta and toilet roll brigade thought they were so entitled. Just talking about it from a COVID
Idiots.
And for me, it contrasted the best and worst of humanity, the whole COVID thing. Ask you, because what do you do for your mental well-being and self-care? Was it something people are talking about an awful lot more, which is maybe a good thing to come out of COVID? What's your self-care practice? How do you keep yourself joyful and happy and that sort of thing?
I think day to day, generally, I just try to keep really busy, which is probably not the best thing, but it kind of just makes you not forget about it. You don't really have time to think about it, but I kind of forget about the little obsessive things that I'll do in between everything. That it's probably very bad for my mental health. But when I write a song and finish a song, I would generally say that is the best therapy ever.
Well, it is, because it's that wonderful catharsis, and it's when you get in that flow state and you feel the words and the music flowing through you as most artists have been in flow state. I'm sure you have. That it's just, you can't remember how you did it afterwards, but you just know how good it felt when you did it. It's kind of that thing. You experience that?
I would say I always experience that when I write with other people, and sometimes when I write on my own, I don't get that sense of like relief.
Really? Oh wow!
And I think that is the whole idea of talking to someone and having the support of someone's time, and just just being there with each other, and they will also be, it takes two to talk about the conversation, so they also have their own issues that they'll be talking about, and it's just you realize you're not on your own, and we're all the same really, and we're all different.
It's that beautiful thing of connection, I think, isn't it? And when you can convey that in a song, and that creative environment, that I was reading something this morning about a lady who was on a podcast, one of my clients' podcasts, and it's my client's guest, and she told all the bad things that had happened in her life, but the healing came through creativity, allowing that creativity to flow again. And it struck me that creativity is profoundly healing because it creates new possibilities. It's always there, but blocked by trauma sometimes. And that's the process of healing from the trauma and allowing that natural creativity to flow again. And that to me is supremely important in day-to-day mental health for me, just allowing that creativity. So I could not understand. I understand you completely in what you're saying. That's a very long-winded way of saying, yes, I agree.
There's this thing called 5 Rhythms I really want to try. Have you heard of it?
Yes.
Biorhythms?
5 Rhythms.
Oh, 5 Rhythms. No.
But it takes
sounds
you
like the
to a
jive
place
aces.
where it takes you to a place where you are kind of forced, or you are encouraged to let go, and you really, apparently you just will. And I don't think any of us really let go. The only time I actually let go is when I'm doing the songs with the kids in the nursery, because there is no judgment there. These 2-year-olds, it's so free. It's amazing.
Exactly. And when you can truly let go, you're not fighting anything anymore, because you can't be fighting stuff and in flow at the same time. But when you let go and flow, my God, it feels good, doesn't it?
What is this? Longy, you've mentioned this phrase several times today.
Flow state.
Flow. What do you mean by that? It sounds like an advert for Pimlico plumbers.
It is. We could do a whole program on it.
Well, then maybe we will. But in a nutshell,
in a nutshell, it literally feels like you've got the whole universe at your fingertips. The scientists have measured it. You get all 6 bliss chemicals at once. It's the only state they know where that happens. You might do something novel and get a shot of dopamine. You might do something protective towards someone else and get a shot of testosterone. But this is where you get all 6 at once. So it feels ecstatic, and it feels like you've got everything you need in the moment. You're not lacking anything. You're completely in flow. It's like having the universe at your fingertips. And it was so rare and so revered. They thought it was some sort of religious experience until science got involved and showed that it was actually accessible.
Things are always great
to
to
everyone.
drag God into it, isn't it, Marvellous? Things
well,
always wonderful
only because it was so
religion.
rare. Science went, no, it's not a bloke on a cloud giving blessings. It's this. And they did a load of research from the field of extreme sports, of all things, and then came up with formulas where people can actually start to use it. There's a TED talk by Stephen Kotler, who's really pioneering all this, and it's utterly fascinating about flow states. And it originated with one of the founders of positive psychology, Mikhail Csikszentmihalyi, or Csikszentmihalyi. It's a Czechoslovakian name, and he started researching it. But it's in the realm of science. It's not woo-woo anymore.
Get that. His name wasn't Mikhail Drugs Get Me High, was it?
It technically speaking, yes, it's your own internal pharmacy. So if you're saying, are you on drugs? Technically, yes, your own, the ones your body makes.
Now, Brooke, how old are these little tots that are doing all the noise in there? They sound so sweet. How old are they?
I don't think you can hear them now, can you?
No, it's gone quiet. Either that or I've gone deaf, which wouldn't surprise me at the moment. I got everything else.
They're 2 to 4.
2 till 4. Oh, bless.
Yeah.
Isn't it sweet how they have such innocence and the world is all available to them, and then everything gets screwed up? It's lovely if we could just keep that.
Yeah,
I would say I've had so much songwriting inspiration. It's amazing. It's really good. I keep writing about children, and I don't have any.
Exactly.
I hope
And
you
there
don't
you
have
go.
an
You want to see
album.
Flow State? You're in the perfect place, Brooke. There you go, Russ. There's Flow State.
Well, I hope you don't have an
Right
album
where Brooke is.
called Miss I Need the Toilet, and
That's a different
that would
kind of
not be a
flow.
big hit.
Right.
If
I
that's your
mean, they're quite
inspiration.
metaphorical, I guess. The songs.
That's so sweet. How long have you been a teaching? I'm going to say teaching assistant or teacher, or what's the right phrase?
Honestly, just since COVID, because I mainly did like sung at weddings on the side of writing and that kind of gigging, and I worked in events, so I had to get a new job.
Right. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That kind of went south, didn't it?
Tell us
Yeah.
more about this music coming out. We want to hear all about your
Exactly. Yeah.
new music. Come on.
I'll be back.
Yeah.
In a
So my
sec,
song. Are you
folks.
planning to play the song? Are you planning to play the song?
I don't know if we're going to play the song, but I certainly would like to keep in touch with you after this.
So, I mean, I have lots of music currently out under Brooke Law on Spotify and YouTube and
Indeed,
everything.
yeah, I've seen it. You said you had some new stuff coming out?
Yeah, and my new single, which is about mental health, it's
Tell
called
us
We
about
All
that.
Need Saving.
Right.
It's called We All Need Saving, and that's out on Friday.
Right.
And I've been playing it in various places, and I've got festivals coming up this whole summer. I'm playing at Buckle and Boots in Manchester. It's the first year that I'm doing festivals with my band, so I'm really excited.
Brilliant.
Thank you. Feel like it's all starting now, finally.
It's so lovely that it's all starting to come back, because performers need to perform, and Russ understands that, and I understand that. I will say though that it's marvelous how things work. It's me talking about flow, and you saying you get your inspiration from children. I totally get that. You're seeing flow every day in front of you. So it's the perfect creative environment to be in so many ways. Doing what you're doing in some ways.
Music generally has just completely transformed in the last 2 years, because everything's gone online and everything. I ended up doing virtual Facebook shows, and I keep getting told I need to put something on TikTok, and I honestly I'm not that. I find that so hard. I don't know. I just find it so weird that people just make money from trying to, it's just about looks all the time, really, and that's really not my thing. I don't want to do that. So it's amazing I'm so excited for festivals and just play live and be letting go in that way is what I want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. The buzz of performing at a festival, or even being backstage at one, it's like an amazing legal drug. I present a festival every year, Happy Days Festival,
it really is.
Bands like Human League and people like that, and the buzz of the festival. What's that, Russ?
Yeah, what is?
Well, this, I'm just checking. I tell you what, gang, I'm just checking if I'm still alive. I bought this thing, and it tests your blood oxygen level and your heart rate. Because if you've got this stuff, you want to know when it's time to call the ambulance. So these are really good. They're very, very inexpensive. Sorry to take it away from you, Brooke, but what the heck? You seem like a nice person. So I got this on Amazon. They're really good. They're only about like 15 quid, 12 quid, 15 quid. And there's millions of them that you can get. And it tests the oxygen saturation in your blood, which you want to be high, because if it goes below a certain point, you're in trouble. And it's got your heart rate as well, which so it's good. It does it instantly, and there we are. Apparently, I'm still alive.
There we go. That was the ad break, and we're back.
That was the ad break. This is brought to you by Brooke Law. Hey, had an accident, not your fault. Call Brooke Law. There we go.
Paul Andrews says, whenever Neil's... Pardon?
Are you feeling that? Is that the COVID that's making you test your finger?
Damn right. Absolutely.
Oh my God.
He's really got it bad. I'm kind of like the fourth emergency service today.
Yeah.
Paul Andrews says, whenever Neil says woo woo, I always start singing.
Yeah, I love this. Whenever Neil says woo woo, I always start singing Justified and Ancient by KLF.
I actually have to correct you there, Paul. That was Last Train to Transcentral. Woo woo. You might be confusing it with KLF, who are also known as the Justified Ancients of Moo Moo in their song with Tammy Wynette.
Jesus Christ, I have no idea what he just said. I have absolutely no idea. Hey kids, just say no to drugs. Dave Sleet says flow state is used in elite performance coaching.
and I can understand why. There's a whole science of it
I'm
now.
I'm really fascinated by this.
It's not in woo woo anymore. It is science now, which therefore means it's replicable. Elizabeth Green, in New York, the answer to how you are always great, discovered I can be great and distance myself from my feelings. Sometimes I say to people, do you want the truth? One said, no lie. That reminds me of the Jack Nicholson. You can't handle the truth, because we all do that, though. We all
want the truth. You can't.
We all wear masks. I don't know if you found this over lockdown, Brooke, particularly with the stuff that I was experiencing. My mask had to come off, and I had to be absolutely honest with what I felt.
You should have kept your mask on.
And I had to allow it to be okay to feel what I felt, because if I didn't allow it to be okay, I would just push it away and down, and I had to allow it to process, to have space around it. And from that does come growth, I find, and indeed creativity and things like that. But this idea of having to push things down and not express how you feel particularly for men's mental health and women's as well, of course, I just think it's a terribly bad cultural idea that's really had its day, but it's stuck around for a long time. What do you think? What do you feel about that?
I'm a bit confused. You mean the actual masks that we're wearing?
That was my gag, Brooke. That's why I said you should have kept his mask on.
Oh, no, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. No, I don't mean the COVID mask. I mean the metaphorical mask that we all wear. It was on the last comment that we got from the lady in New York. How are you feeling? Fine, when you're not really fine at all. I mean the metaphorical mask.
It's America.
The face we put onto the world, I mean.
It's America.
Yeah.
Try having
while ignoring what we really
I think we're constantly. Do you ever really find out who you are? I feel like every day we all kind of have a different. I don't know. I always feel like I have a different front on. I don't know who the real me is, but I feel like it must be when I'm on stage singing, because
Which brings you the most joy? Which of your masks bring you the most joy and passion on stage?
I think that one, because I'm not really thinking about it. It's just I do get lost.
Then that's the
completely lost. It's so weird.
Brooke, breaking news from our Cypriot correspondent. Just watched Best Regret on video.
That's my song.
Yeah, precisely. And you walk past his friends' dry cleaners in the video. You don't get this on any other media. You don't get details like this. Brooke, this is why we are number one in Neil's home. That is just watch Best. This is from San Monroe, coming in live from a kebab shop near you. And there you go. So 6 degrees of separation. It's completely
so we live near each other.
Completely mad.
I'm going to be watching this later for you, though, not the dry cleaners.
No, I'm going to watch for the dry cleaners.
In my new place. I just moved in and I filmed it there.
Whereabouts are you based, by the way? What part of the country are you in? You in
33 The High Street, Chipstow.
I'm in North.
Not allowed to give out addresses on radio. Just a town.
No. Her telephone number is 0785.
Oh, for goodness sake.
What?
I'm going to say I'm not in North London.
Gone to your head.
In North London. I'm a North London. I'm a North London boy, born and bred. But now I haven't lived there for ages, but I was always up in North London. Dave Sleep.
So where are you both now?
Well, Neil is the Lord Mayor of New Malden. He is in charge of everything to do with New Malden, and everyone pays. They sacrifice chickens to him every morning on his front lawn. That is how powerful.
That's only at weekends now, Russ. You're exaggerating.
Oh, they've cut back. Well, there you go. I mean, that's town planning for you.
If you Google New Malden, it says boring town near Kingston where nothing ever happens. Though interestingly, New Malden has the highest Korean population in Europe, just in case you wanted to know.
It has the what? Highest what?
Oh, wow.
Korean population in Europe.
How's the food? Is it good?
Oh, yeah.
They keep losing dogs, or the dogs are safe?
I don't know any dogs that have been lost. Perhaps they don't do that anymore.
See them I don't know. I don't care. I'm in one of those moods. What do we got now? And where am I? I'm in Beverly Hills, Los Angeles. That's where I live in my head. Right. What do we got here? Dave Sleep. I was introduced to the concept of flow state by Native Americans. Get you, Dave Sleep, who's just a fabulous guy. It's been around for centuries. Science and modern acceptance is late to the party.
You're absolutely right, Dave. But with the science now, they've started to put it into training programs like elite performance, because now it can be understood scientifically. Like all science, it can then be replicated.
Man, isn't that good? Now, this is very interesting. Are you all right for time, or are all the kids now completely turned into the Lord of the Flies, and it's all your fault?
You know what? It's gone really quiet, and I think they've changed the routine.
Oh my God!
I think they've changed
Unless
it
they've all
from my
left,
interview.
unless they've all gone and shoved into a van.
But if it's sunny, they would go outside.
Yeah. Do you need to check on them, Brooke?
No, it's okay.
That's the kind of teaching. That's the kind of teaching dedication I like.
Yeah,
You need to check on them.
It is eerily quiet. I can hear that.
It's very quiet. It's quiet. It's too quiet.
Yeah. No, they're outside.
They're outside.
Okay.
What, on the motorway?
Oh yeah, there you go.
Russ, I don't know what's got into you this morning. I really don't.
Funny vision that is.
Sue says, "I'm always telling people I'm fine, even when I'm not." There's an acronym
why
for that.
do you do that?
You know what? That's a line in my song.
Go on.
Well, kind of.
What's the line in your song then?
No, it's not even that. It's all. It is. The chorus is, "It's all right to not be fine. We're all waiting. We all need to save." Anyway, you need to hear the song.
I would love you to sing a bit of your song, possibly, if that's all right with you, Russ. If that's all right with both of you, I'd love to hear.
Well, I play a bit. I play a bit of the song out loud.
Yeah, go on. Go ahead. Why not? While
he's sorting that, Sue says, "Fine." There's an acronym for FINE, which stands for up, insecure, neurotic, and emotional. That's what FINE came to mean.
Wow.
For the more sarcastic side of mental health.
I'm going to read this. While you're doing that, Brooke Law had an accident, not your fault. It's just a great name, isn't it? It just does sound like one of those companies.
I think I feel like I don't say the word fine. I would say I'm okay. Oh, I'm all right. No, I would say I think I'd say I'm good. I think I'd lie and say I'm good. I feel like fine is giving it away. I feel like fine says people you're not good.
But it's interesting you say I'd lie and say I'm good. And this is what I think the conversation
is
helping to address. So you don't have to lie. We can take those masks off again. You know what I mean?
Let's talk on a corporate level. I do apologize, everybody. I am doing my best here. Forgive me. I'm not quite myself today, as is horribly and abundantly clear. This is from Paul Claridge. Now, I'm sorry for you to disappear. And by the way, Brooke, the reason we read things out is because on Deluxe Radio, they hear us. There's about 60, 70,000 people listening just on Deluxe Radio, which is another radio stream. They take our show. And Paul says this, and I've known Paul for many, many years. He's a delightful man. The agency, this is about walking the walk and talking the talk, all right? And Brooke, I'm sorry we can only see the top of your head, but there we go. The agency I work for sent a message to all employees reminding us that this week is Mental Health Awareness Week and saying we all need to look out for each other and for our customers. That's how they want to appear publicly. But remember, this is the same employer who told me off for stopping work in order to do CPR on a lady who was dying on the pavement in front of me. She survived. I was told, quote, "It's not what they pay me for." So remember that these large organizations jumping on, that's all I can read because that's all I got.
I imagine it's going to say jumping on the bandwagon again.
It is, and that's what they do. And Brooke, you wouldn't know because you've never met Neil or me before, but it goes like this: that it's Mental Health Awareness Week, and every corporation is, oh yeah, and they do this whole thing, and it's mostly BS. And here on Men's radio station, it is Mental Health Awareness Day every single day of the year, 24 hours a day. That's why Howard and I started this radio station a year after after a women's radio station was started by Howard and Penny. And this is the point. We don't pay lip service to it. So when I was preambling with you and saying we're not a music station, I only wanted to discuss the reason when your PR people reached out to me is because it's interesting. There you are. You obviously feel it. You're not paying lip service to it, and neither will we. I do get very cross when corporations, when they jump on this green bandwagon. You think you couldn't give a monkeys. It's just a trendy new marketing ploy. And so many people do that, sadly, with Mental Health Awareness Week. And the rest of the 51 weeks of the year, they couldn't care less, as proved with our good chum, Paul Claridge, who they treat like trash. I mean, he wasn't exaggerating. A woman collapsed in front of him. He's got training, so he gave CPR, and they went nuts at him for taking time off from his work. But he was saying,
this is the same company that wants to have awareness of well-being of their staff and customers. So how does that work?
Point. That is the point. Can you explain that, Neil? I mean, this is what makes me. It's disgraceful and it's shocking. The guy should have been lauded and applauded. He saved somebody's life, literally, and they're saying, "Well, we're not paying you to do that."
Brooke, what would you like to see more?
What kind of people do that?
Brooke, what would you like to see more of in the world to support mental health and creativity? Particularly, let me niche the question a little bit, particularly in performing artists like yourself, because I know we've all got that within us, that performance buzz and the joy and the need to express ourselves. What would you like to see more of to support mental health in everyone, but particularly in people who like to perform?
I think more real events that people turn up and go to, and I really don't think social media and all these new things that come, I just think it's making it worse and worse, and there's only more and more coming out. There's the amount of streaming, the Instagram Live.
Yeah,
there's so many apps now that are a variation of it. I don't even want to name them, because I don't want more people to go on it. I don't know.
Don't name them. Don't worry about it. Don't name them.
Okay. There's just so many. I just think that should stop, and just more things that for us to go to, like there's a 5 rhythms session, and there's just different things where people can connect.
So events that nurture, that are there for and there to nurture mental health. Not shout about it, not preach about it, not compete with other people about it on who looks sexy on Insta. The real thing of what it's there for, which it could be a creative environment, it could be a healing environment, but just things where you can really go be yourself and connect. And yes, connection is so
different spaces for people to open up and feel comfortable and free.
I could not agree more. That's incredible. That's a wonderful vision. Yeah,
I think more shows like this as well is really, it's good. If you could have like loads of people talking, I mean, you could just do it all day long, couldn't you?
That's what we do. But that's what we do, Brooke. That's exactly
I'd
the
like
basic.
to at some point introduce you. Sorry, Russ, after you.
Let me Sue Sleet, who's up in Fife in Scotland. This is again about the public-facing and private internal wranglings of a company. Look at this. Sue Sleet, in answer to your questions, I worked in social care. Do you remember she always said she was fine? Do you remember that? So in answer to your questions, I worked in social care for 30 years, where they used to say you're not in a good... where to say you're not in a good place was seen as a weakness. And a particular manager used it to divide staff and split the team. I suffered from this after I was attacked and stalked by a client 6 months after I qualified. So rarely trust people with my feelings. Dear God, Sue, that is awful.
So sorry that happened, Sue. I can assure you you're in a safe space here.
And she's in a safe space up in Fife, just on the beach.
Indeed, yeah. As is everyone listening. This is one big safe space.
No, that is the point. When I started this, the strapline I came up with, I wanted it to be non-judgmental. I don't go with safe space because it always reminds me of sort of Californian students who couldn't find their ass with both hands, quite frankly. But
I didn't mean it that way.
It's about a non-judgmental thing. It's not judge, and unless someone's coming on and being really obnoxious. And in the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of interviews and conversations we've had, we've stopped one ever because the guy was so aggressive and unpleasant, and I couldn't get over it. This poor PR woman was sitting behind me going, I thought we were just here to talk about lovely vegan cakes. I said, so did I. guy was about to kill me and Phil. He was just horrible. Anyway, so that's what we created, somewhere where people, and I didn't know, but I work on the basis if you build it, he will come. From Field of Dreams, and it's been one of my life's greatest pleasures to just watch this and realize that people do like it and want it and need it and enjoy it. And what greater joy is there? Social work is dangerous. I met someone who's oh my Christ almighty. Whoa, sir. That's not good. Here, should we go back to all right, the kids are back. The kids are back.
Oh right, yeah. Shall I play my song and then I'll go?
Yeah. Let me just read this and let's hear.
I do want to hear your song, and I want you to tell people where they can find you online as well before you go.
And also, I want Neil Long to have a proper Capital
well.
Radio intro to it. Let's just pretend that we're 20 again. By the way, I was off work recently with COVID, says Paul Claridge. Not only did my employer ask me how I was, not once did my employer ask me how I was. Even now I'm back at work, they still haven't asked. Paul, they don't care. Get the point. However, every homeless person on the streets of Croydon has come to see me this week and told me how worried they were.
Oh, goodness.
When they found out I wasn't well. Shows where the real caring human beings are. There you go. And Sue says this is the greatest accolade. Thank you, Sue Sleep. I know it's safe, otherwise I wouldn't share. Thank you. Sue, that means so much. Thank you.
Right,
let's wind back 25 years.
Can I pretend I'm on Capital again? And
let's pretend it's 25 years ago, everybody. And Neil and I are working on Capital and being two idiots and getting paid a fortune for it. And Neil
well,
Long...
You might have been, I wasn't.
Were you not? Oh, God. I was paid a king's ransom. Sod it. Don't mind telling people. What the hell? It's great. Mind you, we had 4 million listeners every morning. They didn't want to muck that one up. It was a cash cow. We made them a fortune. All right. Neil, it's now the Neil. What show is it? It's the afternoon show with Neil Long. All right. Here we go. I'm going to step out. Here we
go. I'm going to play it.
Good afternoon. Am I branding it as Capital or Men's Health Radio?
No, you've got to brand it as if we were 25 years ago.
95.8 Capital FM, the new single from Brooke Law.
What if I didn't try to catch that train?
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
What if I didn't get coffee to go? What if I left you sleeping alone? We can't keep on questioning, 'cause we've all got intentions. There's no perfect answer here. It's alright to not be fine, 'cause we're waiting. I'm just saying, go on and cry. Don't apologize, 'cause we're waking and we all need saving sometimes. Whatever happened to being so sure? Aren't we all worth fighting for? Am I too much or am I enough? So tell me what you're thinking of. Where is this judgment? Just trying to be human. There's no perfect answer here. It's alright to not be fine, 'cause we're waiting. I'm just saying, go on and cry. Don't apologize, 'cause we're waking and we all need saving. And the world needs me, and the world needs you, and the world needs us to keep trying now, 'cause we all need saving, and you have saved me. It's alright to not be fine,
Well, yeah.
Not half
It's,
pop because
Wow.
that's the new one there, right there from Brooke Law in at number 8 this week. And in at number 7, it's Dave D, Dozy, Beaky Mick, and you know who, right? Brooke, that was really good.
Yeah,
Brooke,
I
that
mean,
is
you
That
just,
was lovely.
it
That
is
was-
just,
that
you know,
was-
you
that was
don't
giving
know
me-
who,
That was giving
Oh.
me deep feels. I love that.
I don't know what
Thank
that
you.
means. You crazy kids
but
with
we,
your hip
we
talk.
don't know who we're gonna see. That is, you know, someone could really be having a hard time that you don't even know right next to you on the train.
Now look at
and
this. Look at this,
just
Brooke.
giving them a smile, it might help.
Look at this. This is coming in from
I
New
think it's
York
beautiful.
State.
Absolutely
This is
beautiful, Brooke.
It's coming in from
You
New
have a
York State.
radiant presence and voice.
Yeah,
Thank
you do.
you.
That's from Asa Don Brown. He knows
You,
these things.
you absolutely do. You absolutely
That
do.
was great. Brooke Law, bless
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you for coming on the show. Good luck with
Thank
everything
you
you're
so much
doing.
for having me.
Now, go and see how many kids have beaten each other
Before
to
you
death
go,
with
can
a
I just
Tonka
ask you
toy.
very, very quickly? Before you go, can I ask you very, very quickly? First of all, where can people find you online? Where's your
good
cyber
point.
home?
Yeah, good point.
My name is Brooke Law, and I've got a website, brookelaw.co.uk, or it's on Spotify, Amazon, Apple Music, YouTube. YouTube goes. You can see me on film. But
And the dry cleaners. We can see you and
yeah,
the dry
oh,
cleaners.
yeah,
So
my
you got an
cousin's
extra
right here.
10% discount.
And good luck with all the festivals as well. And can I shoot you an email later? Because what I'd like to do, I do virtual broadcasts from time to time on the online platforms. I would love to do a showcase one night of your music, if that would be all right with you. Something like that.
Yeah,
No, she'd
definitely.
hate that.
Wow,
No, she'd
thank
really
you.
hate that opportunity. That would be
Thank
terrible.
you. Thank you for
Online.
having me on
And
the show.
I'm always looking for wonderful new singers and talent as well. And I certainly think I've found one today. So I'll shoot you an email later if I may. Thank you, Brooke.
It is really true, though, that men and boys do not speak openly, and it's really important that you have this space. So thank you. And thanks for having. I'm not mad.
Absolute pleasure.
Thank you. It's been a joy to meet you, Brooke. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank
Take
you.
care. Bye-bye. What a delightful person.
Wasn't she?
Wasn't she nice? I got to first. We want to. I never do this, but I'm going to do this, and I'd like to wish someone special a very, very happy birthday. And I don't ever do this normally, but I will. So Denise, may I wish you a very happy birthday. What are you? Are you singing? What are you doing?
I'm miming happy birthday.
Oh God. Anyway, Denise, happy birthday to you. And I hope you have a special day. There we are. It's interesting. I get inundated with every Herbert who's got a record out, and I'll be honest with you, it's of no interest to me whatsoever. We're not a music station, and we don't want to do that. There's 1,000. You can tune into 1,000 stations, or curate your own list and everything like that. It's a nonsense in 2022. It's pointless, and I won't do it because it dilutes what we're trying to do here on M.R.S. and WRS. But I do make, as is my wont, exceptions, and I think that Brooke was a wonderful exception to that. What a lovely voice!
I agree. And
I tell you what really gets me, and you'll see where I'm going with this, Longy, is this: there is so much real talent out there. And there's so much absolute shit which has the money behind it from the record label or the PR company. And it's not just in music, it's in every walk of life. They are utterly talentless, and they are presented as like, this is great, they're marvelous. They're not marvelous, they're rubbish. And somebody like Brooke Law, there she is as a teaching assistant, if you like. What a beautiful voice.
I would like
and
to,
a presence. It's an amazing thing, isn't it?
I'd like to create something to help people like that get the exposure that they deserve. There's a wonderful lady in this is connected with mental health as well, called Beth Jacob, who we actually did play one of her songs on Radio Jackie called Mr. Mistake, and she raises money for mental health every year because she tragically lost her sister Emily. They do M.R.S, and she's a local singer songwriter, and my God, she's talented. Another one I met was a lady called Shalia, who actually I saw she just knocked on the door of Radio Jackie, and we ended up talking about mental health. It was in lockdown. I couldn't invite her in, but we sat outside. I was going into work and we just chatted. And last week she performed at one of my big disco gigs or DJ gigs at the Landmark Hotel, 5 stars in London. And it looks like opportunities are coming for her. And it's just so lovely to be able to facilitate that. And she wrote a song when Caroline Flack died. It's a beautiful song, not a million miles away from Brooke. I'd like them to meet. It's called Tell Me. And she performed that at M.R.S, which I just told you about in New Malden. And before she got to the end of the first verse, she got a standing ovation. The power of her voice.
Wowza.
Think smoky jazz bar, kind of slight mystical Persian kind of feel to it, if you know what I mean. It was just, and there's so much. Like, I love to support things like that, particularly if it's got a mental health flavour. I'm all over it.
You are. I like that. And we haven't heard the word Persian for a long time. Outside of Sherlock Holmes, what is the connection between Sherlock Holmes and Persian? Let's take your first answer.
Neil Long. Iranian, really, shouldn't I?
Well,
Persia, I don't know.
He kept his tobacco in a Persian slipper. Now,
is that right?
Yeah, that was his big.
Shall I grab this one?
Yeah, please, because my throat.
It's Mental Health Awareness Week. Can we send as much love out to my friend Lauren, who was once a guest on this very show talking about bullying and autism? She's having a tough time at the moment. And I know that sending her love and positive thoughts helps her. And also, can I send the same to anyone else suffering out there? You are not alone. And that is so true. You are not alone. And that's what conversations like this, and indeed safe spaces and forums like this, at the very least, help people to realise. So sending you lots of love, Lauren.
It doesn't make you feel particularly any better. It's not a magic wand. But what it is that when you realize you're not alone feeling like that, you don't feel quite as bad. I'm not going to say that it's going to ameliorate your feelings. It never would do that. But what it will do is make you realize that you're not, I'll use stupid language, you're not going nuts. No. You're not going round the bend.
Nothing wrong with you. You're not broken.
You're not broken.
No.
And things are fixable.
They very much are.
It takes time. And I think
that one of the characteristics of most mental health conditions is, by their nature, they're isolating.
Yeah.
So it's particularly depression. So it's so easy to feel that you are completely alone when you are so not. And it's not a panacea, but it's a wonderful first step, though, to have that space, that safe space to, as I say, take that mask off, the metaphorical mask, and just share in a safe space with people, Lauren. And I found that so profoundly healing in the last couple of years when I've done sort of healing work and had deep conversations with close friends and therapists and people like that. And it really, really does help. And then also what we can do here, and we are doing here, is signposting. Would that resource help you? Would this resource help you? Because there's always a pathway out, even if you can't see it. And it's the hardest thing to see when you're feeling under the weather, particularly if you're depressed, because depression lies. Depression will lie to you. Depression will tell you that you're nothing, you're worthless, and it's just all bullshit. But it's so hard to see that when you're in the throes of it.
And it tells you it's all your fault, and
and worse.
It's rough. It's very rough. I don't quite understand this. This is coming in from Elizabeth Green. It says, Elizabeth, hello, Elizabeth, is magic some mornings on here. Don't understand that. Don't know what that means. You can explain. It's a mystery worthy of Hercule Poirot. I got to tell you, this blooming COVID thing, right? You're supposed to be feeling better. And I don't know how long this damn thing's going to linger, because I've had to cancel absolutely. Oh, when you say my name. Yay. Oh, say my name, say my name.
Elizabeth, if that's all it takes to make you feel good, I would sing it for an hour from the rooftops for you, Elizabeth.
Would you?
Elizabeth.
Yeah, don't kill it. Don't kill it. You're killing it now.
It was only twice. That wasn't over egging.
That was... It's a slender line. It's a slender line between being helpful and being an obsessive stalker, I find. From New Malden.
I could tell you some interesting stalker stories when they came at me, but we won't do that yet.
Don't. I had 3. Oh, it was horrible. Back in the day, I had this group of people followed me everywhere. It was just vile.
That wasn't that lot that used to hang outside Capitol, not Blue Tulip, whatever her name was.
Oh, they were completely bloody. They were nuts. And I say that as someone who's co-founded a mental health radio station. They were nuts.
No, they were bonkers if it's gone.
This woman, this is coming in, by the way, this is from Kentucky. Acknowledgement. Mary G. Williams in Kentucky.
But that's all part of a safe space, Mary, which I know is Russ's ethos.
You see, don't wear my name out. She's a hard woman. You can't please her. I'm telling you that
Oh,
now.
blimey. I only said
Yeah,
it
I know.
twice.
That's
Blimey,
us told. Well, we
Well,
never
that's
liked her
good.
anyway. Goodbye. Right. No, I should take that seriously. These people, every time I went out the building or was at an event or anything like that, this woman kept taking photos. And I said, look, you've been following me now for it was at least 2 years. And you take, how many? She said, oh, yes, I've got 2,000 photos of you. And I'm going, well, you don't need any more. You know, I haven't really, that's it. And they became obsessional.
There
It
was
was
there was a
awful.
group of 3 of them, I remember.
Yeah, that was them.
And one of them was obsessed with Mike Reed. And she changed her name to Blue Tulip Rose Reed. So I heard.
Oh my God.
And I've written a funny song that I do on stage about stalkers. I won't do it here, but I'll send it to you, Russ. It'll make you laugh.
Oh, please do. This woman then said, oh yes. And I said, well, what do you, she's wallpapered her bedroom with my photos. I mean, oh my God, that made me feel physically sick. And then she had sheets and pillowcases made from the photos as well.
Tea's gone cold, I'm wondering why.
It really freaked me out.
Well, it is. Have I got time to tell you my stalker story? Do you want to hear it?
Sure, yeah. Oh, sure. Go ahead. Go and do it.
I was at Capitol and I started getting these letters from somebody who called herself Gema, and it would be a Dear Nil, because what I found is a lot of people didn't write very well back then when they wrote to me. No offense. Dear Nil, I'm moving to be close to you because our baby is due soon. Now, I've never met this woman.
Yeah.
Now, trust me, I'm good, ladies, but I'm not that good. And the letters kept piling up. And I thought, okay, this is weird. So my mum, who was full of brilliant ideas at the time, she took my Capitol promotional photograph, typed on the back of it, Dear Gema, and she basically put, Neil Long is too busy and important and he doesn't answer his own mail. That wasn't true. I always did answer my own mail. Not true at all. I wasn't poncy about it. And we thought it would work. And it did for a week. And then the letters started piling up. Dear Neil, I can't wait to be a waist outside McDonald's for you. I love you. Like the song Stan, Eminem, real stalker stuff, real Play Misty for me stuff. Anyway, so I'm doing a gig at a club called Langtrees in Beckenham when I used to go out and do the PAs for Capitol, and she's waiting outside, and it was like someone out of a Stephen King film. She was like dead eyes, pockmarked, standing against the wall with this look in her face. Sorry about the deluxe radio, you can't see this look on her face.
Well, that's a bit scary.
Yeah. And I'd made the stupid mistake of saying to the bouncer, let her in. Mistake I'm not going to make again. And I was with my girlfriend at the time, who's my daughter's mum, Tracy. And this Gema walked in, slammed the glass down where Tracy was sitting and said, that's my boyfriend, you bitch. Like that.
Wow.
And then she got thrown out. But she needed help. I mean, it's a mental health issue because, people like that have this fantasy of what they think you are. You're the prince, all these dreams come true. And if they could see me when I've had bad moments, it might make them rethink.
It wouldn't make them rethink. That's the problem. They are delusional and they're very, very unwell.
Yeah, and potentially dangerous.
And potentially extremely dangerous because their fantasy to them, we should talk about this another time more later, but their fantasy to them is completely three-dimensional. Graham Dean had someone who was convinced was sharing his life. So sorry, darling, you couldn't come on holiday. He didn't know who the hell this person was. They were convinced Graham was sharing their entire life together on holiday. And it was really, and to them, it was completely three-dimensional reality. To everybody else, it was absolutely stark raving mad.
Yeah. Sorry
to use judgmental terms, but really they were. And you think,
well, no, it's useful to put it that way because they genuinely, more. I mean, I found it a bit funny back then. Now I'm a bit more mature.
Well, I don't find it. I found it horrible.
I hope that she's all right. I hope she gets the help she needed more compassionately now. But hanging around outside nightclubs for DJs, and then Tracy, my girlfriend, told me off. Women.
Well, yeah, but she was a looker. Especially the pockmarks. That sounds very.
Gema was not a looker.
No, precisely so. Your visualization of her just put me right off whatever I might be thinking of having for breakfast. Hey, everybody! I hope you've enjoyed the show. Brooke Law was fantastic. Neil,
wasn't she?
You are tremendous. Loving doing.
As are you. And thank you to everyone that tuned in. You are all validated and acknowledged here because that's what we do. Love you, hug you, squeeze you.
Goodbye. Bye, gang.
Russ,